Hello my friends, it's Hannah Eve and you're watching Eve Believe Beauty. So today, as promised, I have a review for you guys on the China Glaze Sea Goddess collection. So this is one of two collections that China Glaze is releasing this spring. The other one is a 12-piece collection. I believe it's called the City Flourish collection. And then this one is a 6-piece textured nail polish collection. So a couple things about the collection as a whole. Like I said, they're all textured, and unlike the other texture collections that China Glaze has come out with, these all have glitter in them. So the other ones were like that sandy texture, but they were kind of like matte, no glitter, no nothing. And these ones are very kind of similar to the Zoya Pixie Dust or the OPI Liquid Sands because they have that glitter and shine, and they're awesome. I'm just gonna say right now, I really, really love this collection, guys. So there are 6 colors in the collection. I have 5 to show you guys. I really tried to get that other one. I'm missing, it's called Shall We Dance. It's a darker pink. I'm missing that one. They didn't have it at my Sally's. And when I looked up at Swatches online, I decided that I kind of had something in my collection that was similar. So I decided to save my money and not get that one. Hope you guys are okay with that, but I apologize I don't have that one to show you. But I do have all the rest of them. So hopefully you can kind of get a good idea of how you feel about the collection as a whole. So in general, these are, the consistency is a little thick. That's kind of expected from a lot of the textured polishes, at least the ones that I've tried. So they're kind of similar in consistency to like the Pixie Dust, a little bit thick. This took 2 thick-ish coats to be opaque. If you prefer doing really thin coats, it might take you like 3 or 4, especially on the lighter colors. But for me personally, 2 thick coats worked great. I didn't have any problems with dry time or anything. It worked good for me. For textures, that's kind of how I prefer to apply them anyways, but that's just me. And if you don't like a gritty feel, I would obviously suggest you can always add top coat to these to make them shiny. I will say though that a lot of these are like top coat eaters, so they'll kind of like suck up all the top coat, so you might have to add a couple layers of the top coat to get it smooth. And another quick thing about the polishes in general, they tend to be, like when I first applied these, they were a little bit grittier than some of the other textures that I've worked with. A little bit more sandpapery. If that bothers you, you might not like these. Like I said, you can always add a top coat, but it was just a little bit rougher. So it didn't really bother me too much, but it was just something kind of interesting that I noticed about them. Like with the Pixie Dust, for instance, the first day you get like a little bit of a gritty feel to it, but by like the second day, the grit has kind of worn down a little bit, like by washing your hands and stuff like that, and it's a little bit smoother. And this is day 6 now, and it's just now starting to kind of feel like the Pixie Dust do on the first day, if that makes sense. But for me personally, that doesn't bother me. So I got these nail polishes at Sally Beauty Supply. Now normally at Sally's, China Glazes are $5.99, but since these are limited edition, I paid $6.99 for them, which kind of sucks, but I had that and a 15% off coupon, so that kind of, you know, lessened the blow a little bit. I know that you can find these at Ulta as well, and some other places, but I think at Ulta, I think they're like $10, so make sure you do your homework before you go out shopping. And just as a heads up, in these swatches that you will be seeing later on in the video, I show you with top coat and without top coat, and the swatches with top coat are on the left side, and the swatches without top coat are on the right side. So just keep that in mind when you're watching the swatches. Alright, so let's just jump right into the colors. So the first one that I have to show you guys is called Seahorsin Around. This is a bright blue with a touch of teal in it. There's just a little bit of a green tone to it. It has a silver and gold shimmer in it. The gold is very, very hard to see in most lights, but when you can kind of see it like in the side of the bottle when it hits the light just right, you can see the gold come out of it. This one is kind of fascinating because when it dries, obviously it has a textured finish to it, but it also kind of has like a plasticky or metallic type sheen to it when it dries. So it doesn't look very matte. It's still very I don't know, like the gritty pieces look shiny, if that makes sense. And beware with this one that it can, if you don't wait long enough in between your coats, this one has a tendency to like wipe away some of the grit with it, like some of the textures. So make sure you like wait until it's completely dry before you add your second coat. So just keep that in mind. So the next one I have to show you guys is a beautiful purple shade, and this is called Tail Me Something. It's a almost lavender purple, and it is very similar to the look of Seahorsin Around. So it has that kind of like plasticky shine to it. It doesn't really dry matte, even though it dries gritty, if that makes sense. It's so hard to explain, guys. But unlike the other ones in the collection, this one has like some larger purple glitters in with it. You can really only see those larger purple glitters on your first coat when it's still kind of sheer. But it kind of gets covered up by the second coat. You can't really see them that well by the second coat, but it adds an extra dimension to the color. So although you may not be able to pick them out from the other like micro glitters and stuff, it still adds some depth to the color. So I really, really enjoy this one. So the next one I have to show you guys is probably my favorite from the collection, and it is kind of surprising that it's my favorite from the collection. So this is Wish on a Starfish, and it is a beautiful baby pink with a gold shimmer, a brilliant gold shimmer. It really kind of, it just shines on your nails. It's funny that this one is my favorite one because I usually don't like to wear pinks that often, especially baby pinks and especially pinks with a shimmer, but this one is so, so beautiful. So this one is probably the most similar to the Zoya Pixie Dust, in my opinion. The Zoya Pixie Dust are like my favorite textured nail polishes, and I was so happy because this one is definitely very close in consistency and in texture to the Pixie Dusts. This one by far has the best formula. It glides on super easy. Again, too thick-ish coats to be opaque, but it is just a gem. This is beautiful. I even included this in my Valentine's Day nail polish pics because it is just so romantic and sweet, and I'm going to be pulling this out over the spring and summertime, I am sure. So the next one I have to show you guys is called Teal, The Tide Turns. So this one is a very, very unique nail polish. Maybe not for the faint of heart or people new to nail polish, but for those of you nail polish addicts that really enjoy having interesting, unique polishes in your collection, I think you'll really enjoy this one. So this one is a little bit different from the other ones that I've showed you. It's in like a milky type base, a teal milky base, and the texture comes mainly from the base, and the glitters that are in it don't really add much to the texture. You're kind of getting all of your grit and everything. You're kind of getting that from the base, and the glitters are kind of just there for bling, if that makes sense. So there are green glitters scattered throughout this green base. So in terms of formula, this one was definitely not my favorite, but it's definitely nothing that you can't work with. I think this polish is beautiful. It may not be for everybody, but I love this one. So the last polish I have to show you guys is called Dolla Make You Holla. Hilarious name, right? So this is very similar to Teal, The Tide Turns. This is a white milky base with a scattered multicolored glitter in there. And like with the other one, the texture comes mainly from the base, and the glitters are kind of just there to add sparkle. So the formula on this was pretty good. It's definitely the most sheer one in the collection. You might need, if your nails are kind of long, you might need 3 coats or more to get rid of your visible nail line. For me personally, my nails are really short right now, so 2 thickish coats worked great for me. I really think that this one is very, very unique. It kind of reminds me of how snow glistens on the ground. So I don't usually like wearing just plain white nail polish, although I know that that's kind of like a trend right now, or it was a trend. But I think I'll really enjoy wearing this one in the spring and summertime. It's just such a beautiful white that has a little bit of something extra, you know? Not only is it textured, but it has that beautiful scattered glitter in there. I really enjoy this one. Again, this may not be for everybody. It is definitely a more unique looking nail polish. Maybe not everybody's gonna like this, but for me, I love that it's so unique. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope that the swatches were clear enough for you guys to see, and I hope that I covered most of your guys' questions. If you do have any more questions about the collection, please leave that down below. So I hope this video was informative, and I hope that it helped you decide whether or not you want to get some of these polishes. If you have any other questions or comments, please leave that down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you're having a fabulous day. Bye! I will be doing a full review with swatches and everything else, so definitely stay tuned for that. Stay tuned, you're already watching. Ah! This is a full review with swatches and everything that stop it, Hannah. Why can't I do this right? Okay, let's try this one more time. Why can't I figure out what to say? So let's hold on to these. Hello, my friends. No. Okay. Calm down. And yeah. So the next, okay, calm down. Now, this one is unlike the other, no. This one is a little bit interesting. I'm not gonna, no. There's some controversy, I think, about that. No, just forget that. No. Teal-y mint, no. And this one went on, so I didn't really seem to have a problem with the, no. That is going to be a nightmare to edit, I just know that.